We're looking at combining advanced technologies with our traditional consulting expertise to improve real-time data collection. And how do we interpret that real-time data that's coming in through IoT or networks of sensors? How can we generate more robust adaptive predictions about what that infrastructure is going to do?
Welcome to the Stantec podcast, where we speak to our scientists, designers, engineers, and architects who are combining subject matter expertise with cutting-edge technology to develop digital solutions that can help solve the problems of today and tomorrow. My name is Dave Roberts.
And I'm Mike Arsenault. This month's episode is a little bit different from our regular fare. Rather than focusing on problems and solutions facing one particular industry, we're going to zoom out to discuss 3 strategic growth initiatives Stantec will be focused on for our clients over the next 3 years. They are climate solutions, communities and infrastructure of the future, and future technology. And I can't think of a better guest to discuss how and why these growth initiatives were chosen than John Take, Stantec's Chief Growth and Innovation Officer.
John has been with Stantec for almost 30 years and is based in Tucson, Arizona. Welcome to the podcast, John.
Hello, Dave. Hello, Mike. Happy to be here.
Now, before we get going on where we're headed into the future, John, I was hoping you could briefly take us through your career at Stantec and what moments you think led to your appointment as the company's Chief Growth and Innovation Officer.
That's a good question, Mike. As you mentioned, I just started my 29th year with Stantec and more than 30 years in the business. And that's encompassed more than at least 9 or 10 roles at Stantec. And so one of those moments, and there have been multiple moments like this, is where I just simply said yes to a new challenge. I've relocated twice from our head office in Edmonton to Southern Alberta, and then I relocated as well to the United States from Canada about 20 years ago. And so saying yes is always those moments of courage where you put your hand up and say yes, even though you're not sure of what you're stepping into. So a little bit of career growth and career innovation. Other critical moments for me have come from my focus on building teams. I love, to the extent I can say this, I love being the Match.com of Stantec. I love pulling our people together and focusing them on winning transformational projects, those things that we've never done as a company before, the projects, be they large or small, that leave us fundamentally transformed and build more capacity, more innovation, more growth into the future. At the end of the day, I think curiosity, moments where I'm curious, play into that, and moments where you lean into, as I said, that courage. At my deepest, I'm a hardcore optimist. My life motto is anything can happen. And that speaks to growth and innovation. I'm a massive music fan, and it comes from my favorite band. As I got into them in high school, they had a song that talks about how anything can happen in life and all about the journey through life. So I've just carried that into my career. So shout out to Rush, the mighty Canadian prog rock band.
Well, what a fantastic career journey you've had so far, John. Can you tell the audience, how does Stantec decide where we should focus our efforts when it comes to innovation and growth?
That's interesting. In the natural environment and in the built environment, I was having a conversation about our mission and where did we decide to innovate with a potential new hire the other day. And she asked an amazing question. She said, does Stantec sell pain relief or does Stantec sell vitamin? And I thought that was a great question. And I reflected on that over the weekend. And I really think that we focus first and foremost on pain relief. Our clients and colleagues, sometimes they need immediate help, reducing significant risks, getting through operational challenges, particularly with the really large natural disasters that are besetting us more often given climate change. So we really focus on innovating in areas that help clients with immediate challenges, helping them on their worst days, showing up when everything's gone wrong and they really need help. And so we innovate on those emergency situations first. And then we also are a purveyor of vitamins. We're trying to help with long-term improvements, strengthening systems, helping them operate their assets and get better value from their assets. So in that sense, when I think of how we innovate, sometimes we're first responders as innovators, and sometimes we're long-term care providers. So we kind of span that. And as we do so, in terms of deciding where to innovate, we really focus on emergent global megatrends. We have so many amazing subject matter experts at Stantec that they can do so many different things. And we really want to focus them and best position them for maximum impact to their communities. We want to empower them and the people around them in their communities to rise to the world's biggest challenges. And to do that, increasingly these days, it has to be fully fused with digital and make strong use of innovative approaches and tools.
Diving a little bit deeper into the emerging global megatrends. So I mentioned off the top that we have those three pillars we're focused on over the next couple of years: climate solutions, communities and infrastructure of the future, and future technology. Now, those are distinct pillars. I'd argue they are all interconnected. I'm just curious, how and why were those three chosen for the direction of the company until 2026?
We felt that these three pillars, and that's exactly how we envision them, they're verticals, they're highly overlapped, and there are incredible opportunities underneath them. So they're at the top of our planning around strategic growth and innovation. Those three are umbrellas or canopies over what's now between 40 and 60 distinct growth opportunities where we see places where we can innovate and grow. So in the climate solutions space, obviously this is a very significant challenge on the built environment that in many cases has been designed for a world that no longer exists and certainly not designed for the world of the future. This is a space where Stantec's coastal and flood resilience team is using tools like Flood Predictor and Flood Manager to help clients and communities identify risks, develop new solutions and mitigation options, develop better emergency response plans. And we're also seeing in this space our environmental services team pursuing similar outcomes with Debris Flow Predictor. We're also on the spatial and geomatic side working to find better ways to help clients with wildfires, such as recently seen on the island of Maui.
John, you mentioned Flood Predictor and Debris Flow Predictor as some concrete examples of what our technology and what our people are doing to help with the climate solution strategic growth initiative. Wondering if you had a concrete example of some of the work that we've done thus far that really gets you excited in terms of growth and innovation for the communities and infrastructure of the future category.
One of the projects we're most proud of at the current moment is the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art. Last year, I got to visit this project in mid-construction, and it was truly remarkable. It's a building the likes of which I have never seen before, and it's a showcase example of parametric design. This was a construction site where instead of seeing acres and acres of the same types of building material, iron beams, all the same, bricks that look like every other brick on site, it appeared to me as if every piece of that project was bespoke. They all had barcodes and numbers on them. It looked to me like every piece of that building was unique, and that leads to the incredibly organic shape of the building, the innovations we're doing around the building type. And in talking to our design leads and our project managers, it was amazing to hear how they've used parametric design and parametric bespoke manufacturing of all these pieces, whether it's the exterior walls or the roof, to create and fulfill the vision that the foundation put in place for the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art. And it's going to be really amazing when the whole world can experience that when it opens next year. So it's just a real example of when you use digital twins in the building space, when you use parametric design, entirely new outcomes the world has never seen before becomes possible.
How are we helping both our traditional and non-traditional clients with their infrastructure requirements around digital tools and processes? And why do they select Stantec to help them?
I'm thinking particularly about the insurance industry. And there are companies, major real estate holding companies, that are coming to Stantec because with our combination of businesses, we can help them with an accurate 360-degree, fully comprehensive prediction about their site, about their infrastructure, about their campus. They may have dozens of acres of buildings and facilities that are mission critical to their business, but they don't know on a complete landscape basis as they look all around them, where are their primary threats? Is it hurricanes or winds or fires or landslides or flooding or traffic, or what's their footprint of that land? And because Stantec's so involved in designing infrastructure in the first place, we really can understand and help them manage risks going forward. So that's what we're doing in the climate solutions space. Stantec's core business has always been infrastructure. We got our start helping small communities on the prairies build their first water and wastewater plants. And just like those cities and towns now have entirely new types of treatment, we're also reshaping infrastructure for the future. Certainly, human behaviors are changing. We see solutions that are focused now on more livable, equitable, and sustainable urban living. And we're doing a lot more work in asset management and helping people manage their assets. So in the space of envisioning what the communities and infrastructure of the future looks like, this is where we're optimizing that planning to redesign for the new sort of design criteria that climate change is putting in front of us. We're helping with things like fleet electrification. We're using digital twins and parametric design to optimize, basically help our clients not just design, but operate infrastructure before they actually build it and make sure it's exactly what they want. We're seeing that a lot in the utility space and the advanced manufacturing space. And this area where we are so strong is our biggest opportunity to fully fuse digital solutions. When we think about infrastructure, we know about every particular facet, every nook and cranny of infrastructure. Everyone at Stantec works with natural or built environment in some way, with infrastructure of both kinds. And this is where in real time, we're working to help imagine what's possible and reimagine what's possible for all those communities we serve.
And John, what's unique about our approach to that third pillar, future technology?
We're looking at combining advanced technologies with our traditional consulting expertise to improve real-time data collection. And how do we interpret that real-time data that's coming in through IoT or networks of sensors? How can we generate more robust adaptive predictions about what that infrastructure is going to do? An accurate prediction made ahead of time is highly valuable, and we really see in the infrastructure space that holds great promise for us. We're also focused on hard technology. It's not all digital, whether it's advanced treatment technology or PFAS contamination or our work in the semiconductor industry. There's a lot of hard, traditional engineering technologies that we're working to advance as well. It's a lot, but it's also because you're talking about some of the world's largest challenges, the global megatrends of climate change, of changed human behavior, things that we saw with the pandemic, the geopolitical changes in the world over the last 3 to 5 years. We're trying to have Stantec respond to all of those.
Well, that's really insightful, John. How do you envisage Stantec will continue to develop and expand the work we do in the digital and technology space? And what makes us so well positioned within the market?
This is really interesting in that Stantec has turned a bit of a corner. We, for decades, have been architects, engineers, and scientists working on these issues. And what has changed is that we are now of the size and we're working on projects. We are now in a place where Stantec is seen as a very apt and able location to impact the world. So we're starting to attract new talent. We are hiring people from companies that we've never hired before. Traditionally, we pick up a lot of new talent from a lot of great architecture, engineering, and science schools and business schools. But it's been very interesting to me as we've started to lean and pivot and get into digital and marry digital with our traditional technologies. There is an increasing ability to attract the best practitioners in the world in some new fields. That might look like data science. That looks like artificial intelligence. That looks like digital product management. The capacity and growth and the new types of colleagues we're adding at Stantec is really starting to accelerate us forward. And I ask these people, because I've been at Stantec for 29 years, I know why I'm here, I know why I love this company, but our purpose at Stantec to impact communities, to do good, to materially impact our communities, to make success more prevalent across the world facing these challenges, people see that if they want to impact the world, Stantec is a great place to do it. So we've got those amazing subject matter experts that know the technologies. We're bringing in the new people that help us have a broader reach, that help us reach new clients, new industries. They bring additional expertise. And we're seeing those people openly moving towards Stantec because of our purpose-driven growth.
John, is clear from all the three strategic growth initiatives that we have over the next 3 years that there is that through line with kind of new emerging technology within each one. And you just kind of talked about how we are attracting that new talent to better position ourselves for the future. I'm wondering what are the conversations like with clients who may be a little bit slower to adapt and adopt this type of innovative technology, might be a little hesitant to be an early adopter. So what are those conversations like to bring them on board with our vision for the future and help solve the problems, not just today, but in the future?
That's a great question, Mike. And it comes down to our value proposition to those clients. And this is actually how we decide where and when we need to innovate, where we need to develop new digital solutions or a new hard tech solution. And it comes from those clients. And those clients may be new to adopting certain technologies. They may have a digital system or platform that they're very familiar with. It's been around for a long time. It does 80 or 90% of what they want, but it really, there's no new option out there for them. And so we approach those clients with the goal of a better experience and improved outcomes and engagement. They're looking for outcomes. They want things to be more simple, more flexible. They want increased productivity. They want things to be faster. They want things to be more accurate, higher quality. They want things to be cheaper. And so when we approach those clients and focus on listening to their pain points, listening to where they need help designing and operating the natural and built environment, it's a complicated business. And so we focus in on the outcomes that they need. And they're certainly interested in all of those. And if their interest is sufficient enough, then we can help them bridge concerns about technology adoption, concerns about being on the bleeding edge, not the leading edge. So when we keep our promise and deliver those experiences, they'll be a little bit more open to innovating and growing with us on the next step.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today, John. As a technologist within the business, I'm incredibly excited to see the journey we're on, helping to reimagine what's possible across the communities and clients that we serve. Mike and I look forward to welcoming you back, hopefully later in the year, to talk to you again. But in the meantime, thank you once again for being part of the Stantec.io podcast.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening. Future episodes will continue to explore how digital solutions are shaping our world. In the meantime, you can also visit our website at www.stantec.io for more information.